Hello and welcome to Criminal Procedure, CRJ 258, Sections A1W and A2W. I'm Professor Peter Callow and I am your instructor for this course. And this video is designed to help you navigate the particulars for this course on e-learning. Some of you may not be familiar with e-learning, and this video will help you understand how I use e-learning. What you see on your screen right now is what you will see when you log on to e-learning for this course. Now I have section A1W showing right now, and there's only very minor difference between section A1W and section A2W, and I'll go into that in a minute. The first thing that I want you to do is click Start Here. And those of you not familiar with e-learning, on the left-hand side, where you see blue writing, when you click on those links, they take you to another page within the course. We click on Start Here, and then you'll see something about me, and then about this course, and it shows the book. This is the book. It's a 15th edition, Constitutional Law for Criminal Justice by Kanovich, and can be purchased at the library, at the bookstore, or it can also be purchased online on Amazon. You will need this book. 99.9% of our material is going to come from this book. Cases that we're going to be reading, most of them are going to come from this book. So you do need to get this book. And also in Start Here, you don't see it yet, but you'll see this video will also be in Start Here as well. Moving back to the left-hand side, under the category of materials to help you, the first two links are videos for you to watch. I strongly recommend you watching these videos. It's going to help you navigate on e-learning and understand e-learning. And that's one less thing that you have to stress about during the semester, is if you understand e-learning. And then the next one is e-learning material, and that, if you click on that, that just takes you to material. It's not a video, but it's the school's material on e-learning. Then we have netiquette information, which is just etiquette for the internet, and other links to help you. The main area that we concentrate on is what is called course materials. So if you click on course materials, everything for the course, all the materials, your homework assignments, final, midterm, etc., are all going to be located under course materials in their own folders. And we have a bonus question folder, case briefing, final folder, homework assignments, midterm folder, recorded Zoom sessions, which is only for section A1W. I'll explain that in a minute. Quizzes and writing assignment. Each week you'll be given homework assignments, and to access them, you just click on the homework assignment folder, and then it's broken down into chapters. And obviously we will do chapter 1 first. You click on chapter 1 and your homework assignment is going to show. To access the homework assignment, you would click on there, and then in blue right here, if you click on that, the homework assignment will show up in a Word document. Then you answer the questions that are on the Word document, and when you're done, you go back in here and you would submit it by clicking Browse My Computer, or if you have it stored on your iCloud, that's where you would access it. So you click on Browse My Computer, you would attach the file, and then you would click submit in the bottom right-hand corner. And that's how you would submit your homework assignments. Going back to course materials, it's the same thing for bonus questions. I give bonus questions throughout the semester to help you improve your grade. And again, you just click on that and you click on the bonus question that you're going to answer. You would open up the document, write it, answer the question, and then resubmit the document by attaching it. Your final exam and your midterm are also going to be in here, as well as your quizzes. So when it comes time to take a quiz or the midterm or the final, you would click on the respective folder and you will see the quiz. And then you would just click on that and you click begin, and then the quiz will come and you answer it. And when you're done, you would click submit. Very simple. And that'd be the same for the midterm and the final. And this folder is case briefing. You are going to be briefing cases throughout the semester. And in this folder is just information on how to brief a case, and it gives you an example of a case brief. So you are encouraged to read this because these are the formats that you need to use when you submit your case briefing. And when you have to brief a case, it will be under homework assignments. This case briefing is just information and instructions on how to brief a case. And you can certainly Google information on how to brief a case as well, for those of you that have not briefed a case. And of course, if you have any questions on how to brief a case or anything for that matter, you can certainly reach out to me. And then for section A1W only, you will see a folder that says recorded Zoom sessions. Now this is going to be empty, but I'll click on it now. And in here will be recorded Zoom sessions. And section A2W will meet weekly on Thursdays, 11 a.m. to 12:15 for Zoom sessions. Section A1W is strictly online with no required Zoom sessions. However, A2W does have required meeting times, and that meeting time is on Thursdays, 11 to 12:15. That's mandatory for section A2W. For section A1W, you are certainly invited to join in on the Zoom sessions, and I strongly recommend it because this material in this class can get pretty complicated. And the Zoom sessions are designed to help you understand material that I feel is important and material that I think may be a little more difficult to understand without at least some interaction with me. And it's also time for you to ask questions of me directly. So for section A1W, you do not have to attend the recorded session on Thursdays, but if you want to, and I recommend if you have the time to please attend those meetings. And if you want to, you need to send me an email so I can send you the invite. If you cannot make the Zoom sessions for section A1W, this folder is where the recorded version of those Zoom sessions will be. So if you're in section A1W and you either don't want to or you can't go to the section A2W Zoom session, you will find the recorded version of that session in this folder. At the very least, you have to watch that because again, there's going to be some material very particular that is going to be in these Zoom sessions and material that is going to be a little more on the difficult side, and these Zoom sessions will help you understand it. So section A1W, you do not have mandatory Zoom sessions. You can attend those on Thursdays if you want, or alternatively, you can watch the recorded Zoom sessions that will be found in this folder named Recorded Zoom Sessions. Now, for those of you in section A2W, I'm going to go to your section now. So section A2W is identical, with the exception on the left-hand side, you will see Zoom meetings. And this is where the invitation for the Zoom meetings for your section A2W are going to be. You would click on Zoom meetings, and then in here will be the Zoom meeting that you would have to attend on that date, and they'll be clearly marked. And I will also send out emails too with the invitation. But you can always access the Zoom meetings by going into that folder. When the Zoom meeting is completed, probably within an hour or two, the recording will be made available to you, and you just click on Cloud Recordings, and the recorded versions of that session will be under there. And this is just for A2W. A1W, the recorded versions of those meetings will be under the folder that I previously spoke about. So the course materials for A2W, exactly the same, with minus the Zoom meetings folder that is only for A1W. A2W has a Zoom meetings on the left-hand side. So now a little bit about the syllabus. On your screen now is the syllabus. And just one thing that I want to go over is that we have a 1,000-point system. And on the syllabus, it breaks down points for each one. We will have 5 quizzes, 1 midterm, 1 final, and you will have a writing assignment. I'll go over that in a minute. Keep in mind that the tests and quizzes are not open book, and that they are to be taken individual, not with other students, unless I let you know it's an open book exam. But it's always to be presumed that any test or quiz is a closed book. And now I want to get to the writing assignment again. In the course materials, you find the writing assignment. And if you click on the first one, that's the instructions for the writing assignment. And when you complete your writing assignment, it's going to be due April 30th. When you complete it, you would upload it here. So you would just click on writing assignment, and then you would browse your computer or your cloud storage, wherever you have it, and submit it. And you must click this, plagiarism tools. I agree to submit my paper to the global reference database. This is to ensure that none of the material is plagiarized. You would click on that and then click submit. Or if you have any comments for me, you can write them there and then click submit. And the first one here is the instructions for the writing assignment. And as the semester goes on, I will speak more about the writing assignment. So I'll just speak briefly about it now. And that should be on your screen now. This class, we will learn a lot of different legal issues. We will learn about the First Amendment, And then we are going to move on to search, seizure, and Miranda issues. And these are related to how the police operate, what the police may and may not do, when they can search someone or something, when they can seize someone or something, and when Miranda applies. And of course, what is Miranda? So we're going to learn all of that material. And your writing assignment is going to be a long, what we call a fact pattern or a scenario. And it's going to contain some legal issues that you have to identify. So in other words, you will, after you learn the material, you should be able to read the fact pattern and identify where the police made an illegal search, or they made an illegal seizure, or Miranda should have applied, and they did not read the person their Miranda rights. So your instructions are to read the fact pattern, and I would read the fact pattern sooner rather than later, because when we start going through the material, if you're familiar with the fact pattern, then the material is going to jump out at you and you'll be that much ahead of the game. So I have not posted the fact pattern yet. I will, in plenty of time for you to download it and be familiar with it. And that will be contained under the writing assignment folder. And your instructions are, you have to identify every search, every seizure, and every Miranda issue. And then you determine whether or not it was constitutional. And then you explain why or why not it was constitutional. And this is a legal analysis. Therefore, you must use cases that we studied throughout the semester to back up your answer. Even if a search or seizure or Miranda issue is constitutional, you still must explain why it was constitutional. So I don't want just illegal searches and illegal seizures and etc. You have to identify them all and tell me whether they were proper or not. So an example would be, this is a very short fact pattern. When Officer Harvey entered the house to stop the suspect from destroying the marijuana, he did so without a warrant. Police can only enter a house without a warrant if there is consent or one of three exigent circumstances exist. That last sentence is a legal conclusion. And because it's a legal conclusion, you now have to say the case where that came from. What case tells us that police need exigent circumstances? And that you would name the case here. And then you go on and say that Officer Harvey did not have consent. Therefore, we must consider whether there was an exigent circumstance. Officer Harvey entered the house to stop the suspect from destroying evidence. Preservation of evidence is an exigent circumstance. And then in order for the exigent to be valid, the police must have probable cause to believe the suspect is destroying evidence of a felony. And you would name the case where that comes from. And in this case, the suspect was attempting to destroy an ounce of marijuana, which is only a civil violation. Because the offense was not a felony, the preservation of evidence did not apply. And therefore, the search was not constitutional. Now, you may be scratching your head and saying, oh, geez, what did he just say? I don't understand all of that. You will. You absolutely will understand what I was talking about as we go through the semester. This is just an example. So in this example, it's a very short one, but it's similar to what you're going to see. It's going to be much longer than this, but as you read along, you'll be able to identify the legal issues. And for the paper, it's worth 200 points, 100 on content, 50 on the use of case law, which is the use of and applying proper cases, spelling and grammar, 50 points. And it's due April 30th with a 25-point deduction per day for late submissions. And that is the writing assignment. And again, don't panic. I will be, as the semester goes on, I will be giving you more and more information on the writing assignment. And I will probably have a separate Zoom session just for the writing assignment. And I strongly encourage everybody to attend that Zoom meeting, even section A1W. And there will be further information on that as we go along. So that is it. If you have any questions on anything, please send me an email. My information is on the syllabus, and I check my emails quite frequently. So any questions you have, please send them to me by email. This is an online course, even the A2W, even though we meet once a week, it really is still a lot of material that's learned online. And just the very nature of online learning requires you to be diligent and requires you to have strong independent study habits. With online courses, especially, you cannot get behind on the material. So stay ahead with your reading and your material and your homework assignments, and you'll do fine in this course. I am always available to answer questions, and I guarantee you, if you have a question, somebody else has that same exact question. So do not hesitate to send me a question on anything. I am always available. So with that, I wish everybody luck this semester, and hopefully you will learn a lot this semester as we go along.